All I want you to do is give me your top 3 most anticipated LR EZAs going into and throughout the year of 2024. Also, best Dokkan comment, random Dokkan comment gets pinned, so feel free to have a crack at that. But when it comes to this video, we're going to focus on, I have technically 11, but it's really just top 10 LR EZAs that I really want to see, including one, honorable mention. By the way, I did open up all these tabs here just so that you can't read, what these LRs are, because, some of them you may recognize from, the beginning of some of these names here. So I opened up these tabs so that way no one can cheat and kind of see what LRs I may or may not have pulled up here. And I am going to order this in terms of, just regularly anticipate. I don't know how to, I guess, phrase it. The one in first place is the one I have most anticipation for, or that I'm most hyped for. The one in 10th place, it's not like I don't want it. It's just in terms of this list, I want it the least. But it's still a really anticipated EZA for me. And an EZA, I really want to see. And I'll talk about each character and what I kind of want to see out of them, but this won't be too long of a video. If you want to see a TUR or maybe even a free-to-play version of this for JFanta, let me know, and we'll definitely take care of that before the New Year's. We're getting close, so hopefully everything is great with you. Thank you for being here. If you want to see us hit our dream, we're going to hit 100K before the end of the year, so whether you want to join that now or later is up to you. Let's move into the video. And with honorable mention, I'm going to put easily my second favorite LR in the game, Tapion and Minosha. And the reason why they are an honorable mention is because right now, JP Dokkan is going through a Hyrudegarn and Super Saiyan 3 Goku celebration, obviously from, the Tapion, right, special. So I believe this character will be getting an EZA alongside LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku. To me, it's like almost confirmed in my heart. There's no way they don't get an EZA, right? So I don't want to put it as like a within the top 10 if there's a good chance they're going to get an EZA very soon, So I wanted to focus more so on characters that we don't know, or I wouldn't say don't know, but on characters that there is no official confirmation for, or there's no official hint for. There might be two. We'll get to that when we get to that, but hopefully that makes sense. So Tapion and Minosha, honorable mention, just to get it out the way. Let's move into top 10 though, starting with LR Tech Jiren. And the only reason why I want to see this guy get an EZA is because of 2 reasons. One, when he gets his EZA, he will be buffing Universe 11, but also I'm hoping that when he does get his EZA, he drops with another Universe 11 character, because the Universe 11 team, I'm not gonna lie, when the free-to-play Casserole came out and the AGL Margarita came out, which is not how to pronounce her name, but I don't care, the team was actually not that bad to run. Like, it was pretty enjoyable, but it's just you had a lot of, I guess, missing, not links, but there's only like 7-8 characters on the team. Like, you need a good team. So I'm hoping whenever this guy gets his EZA, we can see, let's say he drops alongside, I don't know, a Dokkan Fest transforming God of Destruction Topo, or a transforming Jiren. Universe 11 needs help bad, and honestly, the only thing they could really do, not the only thing, but I'd just love to see him raise stats on 12 and 18, defensive stats, obviously. If they keep the 200%, they can easily have him just stack attack and guarantee an additional super with a certain amount of Universe 11 category characters, or Universe Survival Saga, or tournament participant category allies on the team. And then instead of just getting key with each attack received, he can get key, damage reduction, extra defense, whatever the case may be, right? Just small changes like that will definitely make him more meta relevant. Let me know what you think. Let's move on to 9 on this list. LR Turles. I'm actually really surprised this character didn't get an EZA during the physical Turles celebration, because he's older than LR actually no, wait, yeah, sorry, older than LR, Tapion, and Minosha. When did this guy drop? July, and he was October, so they're just a few months apart. But LR Turles is one of the more enjoyable LRs to run in the game, and the physical Turles and team Turles rotation is a very fun Turles rotation to run. especially not especially, but especially when you have AGL Turles on the team. Like the AGL Turles, let's say in slot 3, this Turles in slot 2, and physical Turles in slot 1 is a very, very fun rotation to run. The only thing is that LR Turles here, who isn't bad by any means, I would say definitely kind of holds the team back a little bit. And again, they're not bad, but I would assume with 9th year anniversary power creep and Golden Week and maybe even Worldwide Celebration power creep, it's going to get to a point where this character doesn't seem that great anymore and won't really be able to keep up with whatever events we get for those big celebrations. So I'd say by the end of 2024, or maybe the last few months, we can easily see an EZA for this character. Again, I don't really know how that would work because we just recently got a physical Turles character, so I don't like, when would they EZA him, right? Again, I don't really know. They don't really need to have it themed like that anymore because Dokkan does whatever they want, but it's still a thing that I'd really want to see. And again, just slight increase in stats. I don't want to spend too much time talking about, you know, a potential kit and whatnot, but just make the support a little bit, you know, juicier. Give him more startup turn stuff and then a little bit of damage reduction and he should be fine. Moving on to top 8. And this is a character, the only reason why I want this character to get an EZA is movie bosses needs help. Okay? It's unfortunate how villains in this game are so disrespected, and I feel like even though Broly, Cheelai, and Lemo aren't villains, it would be very comedic if this was one of the better characters to glue villains together, because this character is an extreme class character, and they are on movie bosses. I feel like we could easily see a 200% lead in 2024 for both movie heroes and movie bosses. And so if we do get that, you can slap this character on the team, and with an EZA, why couldn't he just have like a base support? Before getting any orbs whatsoever, we can just literally give him simply, you know, maybe attack and defense plus like 50% at the start of turn, just to give him a little bit more, you know, juice. Allow him to, because this right here, evades enemy's attack, including super with 7 or more key steers obtained. Like, if he changed orbs for like the first 3 turns, like, he could actually be really good. And if he had just like a base support, let's say he supported all allies with like 2 key and, you know, 11%, yeah, 2 key and 11% to attack and defense. So now when you know, I guess change orbs, you can kind of now give allies an extra 39% defense for a total of 50 for the turn, or 39% attack for a total of 50% attack for the turn. An extra, do all allies get that? No, it's the keys just for him. So yeah, you know, they can even improve this. So maybe just all allies 1 key and 39%, or all allies 1 key and 39% defense. So if you're able to get this, you're basically supporting with, you know, 3 key, 50% to defense or 50% to attack, and then 11% to the other stat that isn't being supported with that key. I think that they can make him really interesting, and it'll be, again, a very comedic glue for a movie boss's villain team. Let me know what you think. I'm actually excited for this EZA, though. I mean, it's unfortunate that you know, they're not great. I'm hoping that they learn from how the community, I guess, responded to this, and they can make him pretty good. Because I would love to run this character on an actual, like, I'd love to use this character, but like, when are you, like, come on now. All right, moving on to top 7. I believe this is 7. It's going to be an obvious one. I believe this is going to be a lot higher on people's list, but I have reasons for why they're so high here, or low, I guess, technically. But I mean, like, what is there really to say? One of the more hype potential EZAs coming to the game. Actually, dude, there's gonna be a lot of TOP buzz. Wow, okay. Because we know some other characters are definitely getting an EZA, but there's no word on this unit right here, and they have to be very careful with this EZA. The 12 and 18 key is already beautiful. Slight improvements will make this character extremely powerful. So again, they have to be really careful. I would say one big thing is, it's cool, the concept, but just take this away. We don't need this. You can just give this guy, I would say, I'm trying to think of like the best way to handle this dude. I would say make him a rainbow orb changer, which makes him really good already. Make him a rainbow orb changer. Make him get guaranteed crits. Like, I'm trying to think of guaranteed crits after a certain amount of orbs obtained. Maybe like 7 or 9. Because, dude, it's like all these attacks with all them being crits is going to be insane. No, I think that's too much. Maybe just a rainbow orb changer base. Maybe give him... I'm thinking. They can just do 100% to attack start of turn. And 100% to defense. Sorry, 170% to... I want the defense to be higher start of turn because his active skill, if they take this off, it's only going to give him attack. So I want his defense just to be higher than his attack start of turn. He still gets stats per key sphere obtained, but with a rainbow orb changer, it's just going to become a lot better naturally, right? So it's almost going to be like his... I feel like if you increase the defense here to like 150, keep attack the same, but you had him rainbow orb change, then and just increase this to like 14%, he's just going to be hitting a lot harder because with the rainbow orb changing, you're going to be collecting more orbs on average, which means your attack is going to be higher on average. And maybe if you turn this into 3 turns, right, he's just going to be hitting a lot harder. And then when you get this active and you don't lower your own defense, he's going to be a defensive beast, right? Especially with the 3-turn buff here, while also, getting a lot stronger offensively. So there's many ways they can handle him, but definitely a really hype EZA for me. Let me know what you think. Let's move on to number 6 on this list. Another one that's probably going to be really high on the list of many, but for me, this character, this is one of those units where when they get an EZA, the game is going to be in trouble. This is a character that was arguably #1 in the game, definitely #1 in the game for quite some time, right? It's been a while since they dropped, so but there isn't really much to say. It's just when Super Vegito comes out, we just have to make him stronger defensively. I think it's just what we have to do, and there's many ways to go about that. Like, you can just go the boring route, give him damage reduction, give him guard, whatever the case may be. Maybe with each counter he performs, I don't know if that's possible, but give him stats per counter that he performs, which would be, I think, really interesting. Or simply permanent stats for every attack he receives. Whatever we need to do, this character just has... Honestly, why not just carry this over? If you increase these stats to 180, carry this 30% over, and then turn this into greatly, I think you have a monster. Yeah, right? 30. So yeah, an extra 30% here, greatly here, 30% damage reduction, change the medium to high, which again is broken because he counters. Characters with crit in their passive that also counter, it's very dangerous, because if you proc all these medium chances, it's a problem, right? So if you have 180% defense with these stats, 30% damage reduction, greatly raising, and you're getting attacked after this character already attacked, 2-3 times, turn that to high chance and you have a monster on your hands for sure. Yeah, this is going to be a really exciting EZA, and so will the next one. I think this is top 5, right? I'm more excited for this EZA, but it's only because I'm more of a Gogeta fan. I mean, let's be real, right? Vegito's really cool, but Super Gogeta, dude. To be fair, this Vegito art is way better than this Gogeta art. Again, look, I'm a Gogeta fan, but I'm a reasonable Gogeta fan, okay? Anywho, it's, again, this is one of those characters where the only thing I really want to see is that nullification. So, and one thing I don't like about these units is how similar they're built, even them being a year apart. It's annoying to me. But anyways, carry over this 30% damage reduction, right? If they're similar now, let's make them similar post EZA. So 30% damage increases to 50 minimum. Come on now. 30% damage reduction. For 5 turns. You know what? Give him 30% anyways, and then an extra 30% for 5 turns. Yeah, make him a goat. Keep this at 150. Okay. Give him some attack on super. Change this to greatly. Actually, no. Forget the attack on super. Just change this to greatly. And then let's focus on this right here. When an enemy is hit by the character's ultra super attack, nullifies unarmed super attacks directed at this character from that enemy for the duration of the turn. So this is the way I think this whole passive should work. When an enemy is hit by this character's super, not forget the ultra, just super attack, nullifies unarmed super attacks directed at this character for 3 turns. For 3 turns. That's it. When you hit a character with your super attack, nullify it for 3 turns. Actually, if it's a 3-turn nullification, if it's a 3-turn nullification, meaning the current turn, right, as well as the next turn, next time he's on rotation, then maybe Ultra makes more sense, and then they can give him a little bit more, you know, key for the next few turns, whatever the case may be, just to make it a little bit easier, right? But yeah, let me know what you think. Let's move on to, I believe this is top 4 now, and we are at Evolution Blue Vegeta. To be fair, I am not a fan of this character. I like some of these other characters here way more than Vegeta, but the reason why he's so high on this list is because he is one of those characters that, this is actually, and maybe you disagree with this take, but out of every anniversary LR that has ever released, or every pair of anniversary part 1 units, right, there has never been a bigger gap between LR AGL UI and Evolution Blue Vegeta in any other anniversary pair. Like, LR AGL UI was so far and away just better than Evolution Blue Vegeta. Like, if we go through all the anniversary units, right, like, sure, GT Duo was better than the Z Duo, but not by that much. Like, let's be honest, let's be real, right? No. 7th year, Super Saiyan 4s and Gods were neck and neck for a long time. 6th anniversary, I mean, come on now. AGL UI was far and away better. Vegito and Gogeta, people argue that for years. 4th year, Goku was definitely better than Vegeta, but it wasn't really by that much. 3rd year, you know, Vegeta was better than Gogeta, if I remember correctly. I know Gogeta was a monster. I forgot how the community took that at that time, because I wasn't really doing YouTube at that time either, so I was just playing the game casually. I don't really remember. I believe Vegeta was better because of the counters, but I don't really remember the exact, you know, I wasn't really in the community at that time, so I don't really remember what everyone was thinking about that, right? And then 2nd year, I know Goku is better than Vegeta, obviously. 1st year, I know Gogeta was just the best unit in the game. But Janemba with that guard, of course, was, you know... Actually, did Janemba guard when he first came out? That's when I first started playing Dokkan, but I deleted the game after playing Gogeta because I didn't know what to do. Anyways, this Vegeta here, all we really have to do, I mean, look how simple this is. So when they get EZAs, they're definitely going to change a few things up here, right? Maybe increase. I would like for this Vegeta to greatly increase defense on 12 and 18 key. That's not much to ask in my opinion. Changes to 70. I don't really see a point. And then give him 30% damage reduction, for the love of God. Give him 30%. And then give him the ability to earn up to an additional 30%. So he has the ability to earn up to 60% damage reduction, right, within the turn, which makes him so much better defensively instead of just 40%. Because 10%, you're not doing anything with 10%, unfortunately. And in today's meta, you're doing even less with 10%. So if you bump this up to 70 or maybe even 80, make him greatly raise 12 and 18 key, while giving him that, again, that 30, with a chance to build up to an extra 30. And then one other defensive ability here, like, let's see here. Attack received up to 30%. Medium chance. Okay, so the extra defensive ability could be changed as to high chance. And the reason why, I mean, extra attack, the reason why that would be a defensive ability in some cases because he's raising defense on super. So if you can change this to high and like on average get more super attacks, your defense is just going to shoot through the roof. So now it's like your defense has become stronger, which means your damage reduction has become more potent, right? They can easily do that, I think, and just make him. So all I gotta do is look, change this word to high, change this 1 to 3, greatly raising on both 12 and 18, and change this 5 to like 7 or 8, and you're fine, I think. Moving on to top 3. Is this 3? Yeah, this is 3. So LR AGL UI Goku. I made a video on this character, I believe, recently. But basically what I mentioned in that video is this character needs to get he needs to get defense permanently with each attack evaded instead of just ki. The issue with this character currently is that he sucks defensively. Right? I mean, back in the day, if he dodged, he would survive attacks. In today's meta, he dies whether he gets hit or not. It's just, you know, it is what it is. So obviously this needs to be 80, greatly raised 12 and 18 defensive. I'm talking obviously, and since he doesn't have damage reduction, just make him build up to it, you know, an additional guaranteed, you know, 150% defense or 100% defense just with dodging, and then give him an extra 50% within the same turn after evading. That way, if you're facing an enemy who you can't dodge, actually, yeah, that's true. If you can't dodge, he sucks. I mean, you have to find a way without just being boring, damage reduction here, guard there. You have to find a way to just make him better defensively, unless you can just go with great chance. Like if they did great chance of launching an additional, right, and then greatly raise on 12 and 18 key, or 12 and 18 key, that way he will more often get super attacks, which would mean his defense would be higher at base than Vegeta's without the damage reduction factored in. And so that way, because he doesn't have damage reduction, at least the great is kind of making up for that. Because again, if you're facing an enemy from turn 1 who just, you know, just doesn't allow you to dodge, what are you doing? Like, so maybe he has to get let me see, maybe he gets key, and I'm trying to think of something else. He gets key and something else with each attack evaded, and then he gets defense with each attack received. Then you're cooking. Something like that. I don't know. Top 2 though is STR UI Goku, one of my favorite LRs in the game. And look how easy it is to fix this character. Are you ready? Are you ready? You just put a 1 right here. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. You just hear me out. Hear me out. You just put a 1 right there. Right. And then when it comes to this stuff right here, all you have to do, hear me out, is change this 77 to what's it called? What was I gonna say? I had a perfect plan in mind that just escaped me, but the point I'm trying to make is make it a lot easier to get this, because evading 7 attacks, you know, is not hard, especially when you're greatly, you know, evading. He could have, you know, an into UI Goku kind of passive where for the first turn he just dodges all attacks. If that's the case, then yeah, just keep it like this. He guaranteed dodge, right? Just keep it like this, because it's gonna be a lot easier, obviously, to proc it. But if you keep it great, I'd say make it like, you know, 22% up to 100, maybe. At least at that point, it's like, you know, just 5 attacks, 4 attacks instead of just the 7 here. But again, there isn't really much you need to do. If you did 177, had him stack defense on 12, greatly raise attacking defense on 18 for 1 turn, not stack, but just, you know, greatly raise for 1 turn, both stats on 18, stack defense on 12. I think he's fine. Really, again, this is not a character that you need to really just do much. Just, you know, buff what this character's currently doing, and then maybe why don't you give him You know, 3 key to all tournament participant category. Why not? A little key support wouldn't hurt for the category, right? But no, in all seriousness, this is going to be one of the most hype EZAs of 2024. I believe he will get an EZA in this year. There's no obviously, like, you know, guarantee, but you know, it's going to be, I think, one of the more hype EZAs, especially if they do him justice. And I believe, because look at this, like, this is TOP. These two are getting EZAs this year if they follow the same anniversary trend. So that's 2 TOP buffs here. We also have, can I pull up this unit, which is, I'm not going to say definitely getting an EZA, but with this unit and this two, it's like, and this one, TOP is going to be hot, like on top. And if they say, oh, these are 2020 LRs too, huh? So, I mean, sorry, where are they? Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of TOP buffs, dude. And then number 1, can you guess the character? Can you guess? Maybe pause the video and just type out who you think is number 1. Oh, I guess you can see it because yeah, that you can actually see it. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Anyway, so since you can see it, I didn't realize you could see it because I forgot I'm displaying my screen on my actual thing. Yeah, Broly. This is one of those characters that you won't stop. You might just want to unsubscribe now because you're not gonna stop hearing it from me. And again, to fix this character, it's incredibly simple. I would just say, you know, just make Broly what Broly is in the anime, but they don't want to do that because they know if they made Broly act like he was in the anime, he would be the best character in the game. Like, I'm stuttering over my words because of how strong he is, right? So if this is what they gotta do, literally, right? Hear me out. Attack and defense plus 90% start of turn. And then the same number on super attack. Right? Not hard. Give him stack, like, make him stack defense on both 12 and 18. And then guarding when facing a superclass enemy. And make this 60. And then just boom. That's it. Just delete this. You're fine. You know how strong he becomes? 90% auto turn, 90% on super, 60, an extra 60 if it's an 18 key. Stacks defense on 12 and 18. Guaranteed additional super. Guards when facing super class. Who else can he guard against? Goku goes super, so I guess you can guard against pure Saiyans are all super class characters anyways. It'd be cool if he guarded against transformation boost, because Goku, you know, but that, because that way, this way you would target some villains in the game, you know. But it's not going to be like that many villains anyways. It's not anything crazy, but at least, you know, he's because Red Zone is more villain dependent, but you know, some characters just have to have a super class, and maybe Broly can just be that character. And then when you transform to this guy right here, you give him 100% to stats start of turn, 100% to super. You know, this is fine. We leave this. Launch an additional super attack, and then launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming super when facing one enemy, and then keep this the same. And then of course we gotta increase the defense for this as well, and then guard. Dude, listen, bro, this look at this character, dude. Does this guy look like someone who loses to, you know, Red Zone TN? Come on, dude. I don't know. I remember when I first started playing Dokkan, it's like I got so upset that one of my like Gogeta characters lost to, you know, TN in Super Battle. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. How did I lose to TN? And I feel like some characters just should not lose to characters. Like, there's no way a TN or a Cyborg Tao should be beating my Broly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But let me know what you think. This is my list. Broly, of course, is number 1 because he is number 1 in my heart. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for love and support, and peace.